seductress, heroine, or murderer? The ancient name Lilith finds its roots in a Sumerian term referring to female demons or spirits known as the Lilitu. Stories about Lilith have circulated for centuries, with interpretations varying across cultural traditions. However, her primary associations consistently revolve around themes of rebellion, darkness, independence, and feminine energy. One of the earliest mentions of Lilith can be traced back to the Sumerian epic poem Gilgamesh and the Hulappi tree, discovered on a tablet in Ur dating back to approximately 2000 BCE. From there, her name spread to ancient civilizations such as the Hittites, Egyptians, Israelites, and Greeks. Although Lilith is only mentioned once in the Bible, as a wilderness demon rejected by the prophet Isaiah, later Jewish texts reintroduced her with remarkable interpretations. Until the 7th century CE, Lilith was regarded as a dangerous embodiment of dark feminine powers. However, during the Middle Ages, the Babylonian she-demon acquired even more sinister characteristics. Sometime before the year 1000, the alphabet of Ben Sira emerged within medieval Jewish circles. This anonymous text, structured with 22 episodes corresponding to the Hebrew alphabet, introduced a Lilith who would both captivate and terrorize generations to come. In the alphabet of Ben Sira, Lilith retained familiar traits. She was destructive, possessed the ability to fly, and was associated with sexuality. However, this tale presented a novel twist. Lilith was portrayed as Adam's first wife, preceding Eve. Upon refusing to submit to Adam, Lilith was expelled from Eden. The narrative takes an even darker turn when the Almighty imposes a dire consequence on Adam if Lilith refuses to return. 100 of her children will perish daily. Lilith, depicted as both a child-murdering witch and an incredibly fertile mother, becomes integral to maintaining the balance between good and evil. To retrieve Lilith, 3 angels are dispatched. Upon finding her at the Red Sea, a site of profound significance to the Jewish people, Lilith refuses to return to Eden. She justifies her actions, claiming she was created to consume children in revenge for Adam's mistreatment and God's order to kill her offspring. Surprisingly enough, Lilith strikes a pact with God and the angels, swearing not to hurt any infant protected by an amulet with her name on it. This agreement, ironically, underscores Lilith's complex relationship with the divine. On the other hand, Lilith's conflict with Adam symbolizes a deeper struggle between patriarchal authority and a matriarchal desire for autonomy. It's fascinating how, despite the passage of centuries and the vast geographical distances between cultures, similar stories and themes persist. Another creature similar to Lilith was the Greek Lamia, who also ruled over a group of child-stealing Lamia demons. Known as the child killer, Lamia inspired fear due to her malevolent nature, just like Lilith. Descriptions represent Lamia with a human upper body from the waist up and a serpent-like lower body. Some portrayals show her with wings and bird-like feet instead of a serpent's lower half, reminiscent of Greek sirens and the Lilitu. According to one source, Lamia is described as a daughter of the goddess Hecate. The next significant step in Lilith's journey is detailed in the Zohar, which elaborates on the earlier account of Lilith's birth in Eden. The Zohar is a foundational work in Kabbalah, a mystical and esoteric tradition within Judaism that seeks to explore the deeper, hidden meanings of the Torah and other Jewish religious texts. Within the Zohar, Lilith's birth in Eden is described as part of the broader narrative of creation and the origins of humanity. It elaborates on earlier accounts of Lilith's existence, presenting her as a figure with significant mythological and symbolic importance. So, according to some interpretations found here, Lilith's creation predates Adam's. This narrative presents Lilith as Adam's first companion, crafted from the same earth as him, and therefore, as his equal. Another notable difference from the previous tale is that Lilith is depicted less as a sinister force and more as an independent character in the Zohar narrative. Moreover, it underscores that she willingly departed from the Garden of Eden by her own choice. In recent centuries, Modern philosophical movements, such as Luciferianism, draw inspiration from various religious, mythological, and philosophical sources. In this saga, Lilith is considered to be Lucifer's wife and is identified with the figure of Babylon. She is said to come from the mud and dust and is known as the queen of the succubi. When she and Lucifer mate, they form an androgynous being called Baphomet, or the goat of Mendes, also known in Luciferianism as the god of witches. Lilith is believed to form the Luciferian trinity composed of her, Samael, and Cain. Likewise, she is said to have been Cain's actual mother, as opposed to Eve. Lilith here is seen as a goddess of witches, the dark feminine principle, and is also known as the goddess Hecate. Sounds familiar? Either way, Lilith continued to frequently appear in various forms of modern media, including movies, TV shows, novels, and other forms of entertainment in the New Age movement. In the 1950s, Lewis drew inspiration from Lilith's legend in the Chronicles of Narnia, crafting the character of the White Witch, one of the saga's most threatening figures. Portrayed as Lilith's daughter, the White Witch holds an unwavering wish to eliminate the sons of Adam and the daughters of Eve. She enforces an eternal winter upon Narnia, ensuring that the land is always locked in ice, far away from any joy. In a struggle of good versus evil, Aslan, the ruler of Narnia, ultimately defeats the White Witch, bringing an end to her tyrannical rule. However, this tradition of portraying Lilith as a villain has experienced a revival, largely driven by the feminist movement of the early 21st century. This renewed interest in the demoness has prompted modern writers to create new narratives, often overlooking or rationalizing her negative attributes. Instead, feminists have emphasized her autonomy and bravery. Throughout history, Lilith's name and character have been recurrent, often associated with challenges faced by the feminine aspects of the world, such as infertility, abortions, miscarriages, and sterility issues that ancient societies struggled to explain rationally. Similarly, in the 21st century, people are responding to these age-old problems with alternative interpretations and narratives that reflect the realities of their own lives. This recurring interpretation echoes a pattern observed in history, suggesting that history may indeed repeat itself.